Hello, welcome to this MagiCAD for Revit webinar. This is a feature webinar. I'm going to focus on the new feature in our MagiCAD 2019 version, which is the real-time clash detection. So this tool has been introduced to assist users in the Revit environment to be able to observe and deal with real-time clashes, both hard and soft clashes, as and when you're modeling. So rather than doing a retrospective clash detection, which of course you can do clearly as well, but this should help you avoid a lot of those clashes that occur later. So we have a system here, just a very basic, just a series of ductwork fittings here, and some pipe work running through there. Nothing really complicated, but it's just for demonstration purposes for this tool. And what I want to do is run this clash checking tool in these views. So first of all, we need to set up the clash settings. So if I go into clash settings here, if you observe as well, it's in the MagiCAD common tab, the clash detection feature. So if I go into clash settings, as a window pops up, and you have an option to turn on real-time clash detection, so you can do that straight from here. So the idea is that you can turn on and off very easily from here. So if you want to have this detection shown when you're modeling a certain period and not shown again, then it's no problem. You just turn it on and off as you see fit in here. And then below there, you'll also see this project selection. So here's my current project, which is this clash detection Revit file, and there's also my architectural model linked in. So you can actually choose which models, whether it's linked, whether it's the current, doesn't matter. If I had a sequence of architecture, structure, whatever models in there, I could choose to turn them on or off as I see fit, and it wouldn't use those in the clash detection. So a lot of flexibility to do it wholesale by model in that drop down menu there. Then below there is your sort of filtering, and it's very deep. So you may be used to Revit's own interference checks, and that is quite high level. It's like ducts or not ducts as a category. But in this tool, this MagiCAD clash settings, what you can actually do is expand on this quite a lot. So you've got ventilation. Then within there you can do ducts, and within there you can choose which duct families or which duct fittings. You've got lots of flexibility in there for how you wish your clash detection to take place. So for example, if you did ducts like this, and then you didn't want to have a certain duct family being used as clash detection because it was for something else, it was representing some other system or something like that, you could just uncheck it from there and it wouldn't use that in the clash detection. So you've got a lot of flexibility, a lot of customization options in here for your clash detection. So at the moment, I'm going to have some ducts detected. I'm going to have some duct fittings detected like that. You can also go from mechanical equipment, of course, like whether it's air terminals or your fan core units, things like that. But I'm just going to leave those out for now, just for clarity of this demonstration. But obviously, you can include those in as you wish. And then similar in piping, I've got just pipes. You can choose pipe fittings. Electrical, I've got cable tray and cable tray fittings there. So that's my selection set A. Then selection set B is what do I wish these to clash with, or I should say, what do I wish these to be detected that are clashing with. And I'm going to go for architectural walls and roofs and ceilings there. And I'm also going to go with the same selections that I had on the left hand side for MEP. So once I've set all that up, I can also do even more filtering and turn off different vents and pipe systems in the Revit model. So it detects these from the model and you can turn them on and off. So if you didn't want to detect clashes for ductwork on a certain system, for example, then you could turn it on and off on here. So there may be reasons for doing that. Some people use ducts to represent like a zone and things like that, so you may want to just turn those ones off in this particular instance. However you wish, it can be done in there. And then finally, if we go into configure, you can see here we can choose colors for hard and soft clashes in there like that. And then you can also choose whether you want to ignore clashes. So this will be for builders work openings. It's going to be where you have, for example, MEP services going through a wall or a floor or whatever it is. And because you've already got a provision for a builder's work opening there, that ultimately wouldn't be a clash in the future if that hole is cut. So you have an option to ignore those as clashes if there is a builder's work provision in that particular area. So that's quite nice. So you can turn that on and off. And then below there, you can now see that we can have these soft clashes. So you've got these clearance zones. So you can put your own figures in there for ducts and pipes. You can even ignore certain sizes. So you can say, oh, anything less than 10 mil, there's no clash at all. And in cable tray, you can also have different offsets around the cable tray for clearance zones there as well. So type all those in and press OK. Then just press OK, and now it will scan through the project and then create the representation on the screen now and the views that we've got for this real-time clash detection. So you can see here that in this view I've got what is a soft clash because it's yellow as defined in my settings. I've got a hard clash in red. I've got a hard clash there. So it's no surprise that obviously the rest of the project is a bit more complicated over here, but you can see there I've got all sorts of soft clashes going on. You can see amongst my services there and clashes through walls and things. So it's quite easy to use there. You can see it's very visual and it's a very instant way of determining where you might have any clashes. And obviously in the 3D as well, you can see how the clash is actually represented. It's like a box within the service. You can see there, and with a soft clash, you can see there that it's actually like a flat. Depends on the depth of the soft clash. It's like a flat box as well there. So and also there the pipe as well. So that's how the clashes are represented in real time. So if I now just draw some more ductwork, you can see how it would appear. So if I just go to create similar, and I'll just draw simply a duct clashing straight through another one, you can see instantly that it's got a red indicator there, so I know it's got a hard clash. If I draw another duct, let's say, and this time I can go above it, so I only use the MagiCAD duct function, so I can easily offset this. So I'm going to say that I want this duct to be say 20 mil on top of this duct, and just press OK. And I can draw this other one with this other duct here going on top of there with a clash. You should see that I've now got a soft clash because obviously I've just gone over by 20 mil, which is in my 25 mil of soft clash clearance zone. So that's how that works. And for architecture, you can see here that I've got a duct against this wall. If I just say nudge it into the wall a little bit, you can see that I've now got a soft clash. It's picking up the duct against that wall there. You can see the duct isn't hitting the wall, that's why it's a soft clash. And obviously if I went into the wall, then it has become a hard clash eventually. You can see there in red, so that's quite straightforward. Also, I want to show you some of the bits and pieces here. You'll notice as well, even flanges. If I zoom in here, you can see the very edge of the flange is within the 25 mil clash zone, but the duct isn't. So it only highlights the actual flange. So it even goes to the actual level of individual flanges as well, irrespective of the surrounding fitting or ductwork segment. So that's it. It's quite simple to use. You can see there that real-time clash detection is like a visual aid to assist you and determine the locations of your hard and soft clashes as and when you model. And like I said, you go to the clash settings again, turn it off, press OK, and it's gone, disappeared from the model. So you can just toggle between the two as and when you like. But if you don't want to do real-time clash detection, you could do this after real-time clash detection to do it retrospectively. So I want to look at my clashes on this particular area here. Let's say I want to do my clash checking retrospectively on the existing projects. If I go into clash checking here, this is like the Revit interference check, so it's actually going to do a clash detection report for you. So I was going to create a new report there. You can choose how you want to do this clash detection. You could do it in a certain area or range. You can do it by levels or by project. So if I go to select objects like that, press OK, then I can just draw a sort of window around that area. So I'm just going to do clash detection on that particular area there, let's say. Then press finish, and you can see here that you get a clash report. So you can see I've actually only got these clashes here shown here. So you can go through the report and use this to then zoom in on clashes. So if I click that, it will zoom to that clash, and then you can see here that you can actually start isolating different objects as well. So you press isolate, you can see it will isolate that object as a clash. So it may be easy. What I'll do, I'll actually show you somewhere more complicated. We'll do a clash report for the whole floor, let's say. Obviously it gets a bit messy around here, so you're trying to work out where clashes are. It's got yellow and red everywhere. So if I do this clash report here, I'll just do a current view instead now. If I now go to here, you'll see these reports. It's got a lot longer, and I can just zoom to different areas. And then if I don't know what this clash report is, I'll just click show, and we can zoom straight to the actual object, or I can zoom like this and go to the actual clash itself. And if I click isolate, then it will just isolate the particular object there. You can see the pipe just isolated, or whatever the objects are that are involved in that clash, you can see. So it's quite easy to use this to run around the Revit project, and then you're just isolating the actual various objects involved in these clashes as you see fit. So you can see it's quite a horrible detail there when you've got many services are running at once through a ceiling void. So once you're happy with the clash report and you've dealt with the clashes and you reduce, and you may be happy with certain soft clashes still existing, that's fine. Once you've done that, you can then actually create this BCF report. And if you're familiar with MagiCAD at all, you'll know that we actually support BCF, which is BIM collaboration format, and that is a industry standard format which can be used to export to like Navisworks or Celebri and other obviously Revit users as well. And this BCF can just be exported like this. I'm not going to show the BCF in action today. I think it's a different tool altogether, but just so you know, it is part of this BCF manager system. So you can create these reports and send them off to your design team or your clients or whoever wants to review these in BCF format. And one more thing I was going to show you, you can also, if you want to do, you can create some like screenshots of clashes as well if you wanted to do that. If you go to views, you can also create, you can see there I've created a screenshot of this particular area, so you can create multiple screenshots if you wish for different clashes, and they'll be exported with the BCF report as well. So not only are we doing clash detection in real time, like I showed you at the start, we're doing clash detection retrospectively, and we're also creating a clash report at the end of it in BCF format, which can then be shared with a design team. So I hope that's been useful for you. That's a sort of quick overview of our new feature of clash detection. If you want any more information, we are available on the usual channels here on the screen now. And we're based in the UK ourselves, so if you want to contact UK sales and have any more information or a demo, then use the contact details on the screen now. Well, thanks very much for your time, and I'll see you on the next webinar. Thank you.